now, what is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I am here to talk about and review Aliens. This is obviously a part of the triple pack, so okay. Aliens is a 1986 film that was directed by Mr. James Cameron. And the plot is we see Ripley, once again played by Sigourney Weaver, who narrowly survived that last alien in the last movie. She's found in that ship where she was floating out in space, only to find out that she's been out there for like 58 years. So she's clearly missed everything, missed her life, and she's traumatized over her experiences in the last movie. And she reluctantly goes along with a new crew to go out to what is now colonies. Yes, people are living out in those alien-like planets, and she's trying to stop them and save people and warn them about those aliens that we all know and love. Now, what I think of Aliens is... I love this movie. I do. This film is clearly, without a doubt, my favorite alien film of all time because I love the new tone. I love that James Cameron, first of all, starting this movie off with that big twist, that big reveal for Ripley. That's fucked up. That's some tough, serious shit for our main character to go through because I feel like you didn't get a whole lot of backstory stuff with Ripley in the last movie. You just attached yourself to her because of her will to survive, because of her instincts, because of how capable and smart she was. This movie, you see her go through some traumatic stuff, not just with finding out that her once little daughter is now not only old but dead now. She's missed all of that, and she's alone. But she has constantly these nightmares, these dreams of an alien chest burster coming out of herself, and she's just screwed up over it. I love that. That's instantly like, I feel for this character. I relate to her, and I get why she's freaking out to the board, and like she does not want anything to do with this ever again. But it's only when she realizes that these families, kids are out there on these planets, living out there, and they're gonna need saving and help. And when she thinks that maybe it's possible that they could wipe these creatures out, then she's willing to do it. She grows attached to this girl, Rebecca, who we call Newt. And Rebecca, played by Carrie Henn, she's just this young little girl who her whole family was killed. And it sucks because you could tell she was once innocent, but now she just feels like everyone around her is going to die. She doesn't trust anybody. You don't know exactly how long she's been out there because she's dirty, her hair's messy, and she's been basically hiding from aliens this whole time on her own. But I like how close Ripley becomes to her, how she wants to take care of her, almost her surrogate daughter, and she's all about saving this girl. I love that end sequence where the girl gets taken. Creepy ass scene. As much as this movie is more of an action film, there are still scary images and freaky moments like the alien coming up behind in the water to Newt and taking her, and Ripley having to find her and chase her down. Michael Biehn plays Corporal Hicks, who is more of a straightforward lead guy. I'm not saying there's a whole lot of depth to his character, but he's a likable actor. Obviously, Cameron brought him over from Terminator, and I like a couple of scenes that he has with Ripley. You can tell that there's some chemistry there, and I wish you could have seen that maybe blossom a little bit more, especially if the sequel had played that up. Janet Goldstein plays Private Vasquez, who I just now, after so many times watching this, realized that this actress has been in a few other James Cameron movies, most notably Terminator 2, as John Connor's stepmother, and she was just so much of a badass here. She just had this nice physique, and she had that tough ass attitude. Bill Paxton as Hudson. Hey man, I don't want anything to do with this, man. Forget that. Like, I know it might sound like I'm making fun of the character, but it's funny to watch him. And he's one of the few actors that this character could have been annoying, could have been a coward and somebody that you didn't give a crap about. But I understood why he felt the way that he did. But when it came down to it, he was willing to get in there. He was willing to get his hands dirty and do what he had to do. Lance Henriksen plays Bishop, who this movie does not hold up on letting you know that he's a robot. He is an android. And I love that Sigourney Weaver instantly doesn't trust him, instantly thinks that he's going to turn on them, and they even tease that a little bit. But I like the character. I like how he plays him, especially towards the end. Paul Reiser as Burke. He starts off the movie trying to almost comfort Ripley because he's a company guy, so he's probably mostly trying to save the company's ass. But it seems like he's trying to do the right thing until you find out that he's an asshole. He's the scheming, two-faced, fucktard of a person, and you hate him. My only complaint about it is that I wanted to see his character die. And I mean, slowly, viciously, torn apart by the alien, and you only get to hear his death. But let's talk about the alien. I talked about how great it was in the first movie. It was pretty much a person in a costume. And I feel like that goes on here as well. But also, I think the effects have gone up. It's been almost 10 years. More special effects from Stan Winston. I should mention that. Just the xenomorph. We now know in this movie what they're called by name, xenomorphs. And there's more of them. That's why it's aliens. And there's so many, and seeing them just crawl through the vents and coming at you in so many different ways, even their movements are more fluid. It's scary. Somehow, some way, you can have a movie where it's just one alien and it's scary and creepy, and then another movie where there's a bunch of aliens and it's still scary, it's still creepy, but I love the action aspect of it now. I love that we're following soldiers. I love that a lot of them are macho guys and whatnot, but they get taken out quick, and there's only a few of them left, and I love how they're almost desperate to the point where they have to stick together. Ripley's trying to round them up and say, hey, listen, we need to take care of this. We need to survive. You take the time to spend time with and get to know them, and you feel like you know their personalities, so when they do start to go, you feel it. You feel bad. I have to talk about the most iconic moment, though, of like almost all horror, but especially in this movie as well, where the queen alien, we find out that the way how these eggs are being made is that there's a queen xenomorph, and she's big, she's huge, she's ginormous. Even seeing that, I almost I can't fathom how they pull technology like that off to make the queen alien run around and do everything that it does, because that looks practical. Those effects hold up all of these years later. But when Ripley has to go toe-to-toe with this queen, and she gets into that big robot suit, and she says, you stay away from her, you bitch. Love it, love it. It's such a great moment, such a great end sequence, because you think that they've escaped from the planet, you think that everything's going to be okay, but then the reveal of it being on the ship, coming in, attacking Bishop, and that last showdown, it's so intense, it's so much going on. I love this movie, clearly. I think it's fun. I think it's fast-paced. It still holds up to this day. I love the writing. I love the characters. I love what James Cameron did for the Alien franchise. So, guys, let me know in the comments below if this, too, is your favorite Alien movie of the series, or if it's not. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later! Please won't you save my